Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. As always, I am so grateful to have you here. Today, I am pulling important events from your Akashic records, and today's reading is extra special because it is in collaboration with SourceLightStar. So go ahead and check out the other part of your reading on his channel, where he takes a look at messages from your most evolved selves. Please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine. And as you exhale, create a clear channel, knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. As always, I'd like to thank you so much for being here, as you all mean the world to me, and I'm very grateful for you. We have group number 1 on the left with Artistic Expression and Paul the Venetian. We have group number 2 in the center with Crystals and Epona. And we have group number 3 on the right with Positive Change and Paravati. Thank you again for being here. As always, the timestamps are listed below in the description box, as well as the link to SourceLightStar's reading and channel. I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group number 1. Namaste. Welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at important events from your Akashic records. You selected the first group, so your card is the Artistic Expression card with Paul the Venetian. The first thing that is coming to mind here, in your Akashic records, they're drawing me to a particular moment, and they're showing me 2 hands being ripped apart. I'm hearing it's not goodbye, it's see you later. And so this alludes to a very significant connection between 2 beings. With artistic expression coming out here, in another lifetime, it seems as though you are some sort of creator being. You used to create something artistically or just in general. And it seems that whatever this was you were creating, they're showing me somebody being in awe of your art, someone being in awe of your inspiration, of your ideas. Unbeknownst to this energy, this other being who is watching this art of yours, this energy was your muse. And they're showing me somebody saying, "Don't you know how beautiful this is?" And you in response saying or thinking, "Don't you know how beautiful you are?" This is beautiful energy. They're drawing my attention here to blue, the throat chakra, and this sky here is very significant. They're drawing me to blue and indigo, and they're showing me that you might have been creating something. Whatever this was that you were creating was based upon real memories of yours that you remembered, but almost in you remembered them in sort of a lost sense. They're showing me 51st dates. There's this energy of you creating art based off of your own memories and experiences, but almost having a sense of amnesia when it comes to what this is, but you know the energy. I'm hearing the phrase, "a great sacrifice." And they're showing me the green dakini. So there's an indication of you creating something as a means or a map to find your way back to a particular energy. This can be a home, a vibration, a collective, another being, whatever this is. But they're showing me again a great sacrifice. And this would be the repression of a sort of truth here that would have been integral. And whatever this is, the challenge that you knew you would be able to face in this life would be nothing compared to the joy and abundance and love, unconditional love, that you would feel when you come back to this energy. This energy feels like a beautiful golden light, They're also showing me a blue light as well, a healing blue light. Andromeda can be significant for some of you, as well as Polaris, as well as the Blue Avian Collective. Orion as well for some of you. Oh, there's a hummingbird and 2 crows. Now, they're showing me a sacrifice in not only your memory, they're saying pratyahara, okay, which is withdrawal of the life source from the 5 senses of the physical body. This is the 5th limb of Ashtanga Yoga. They're drawing me to this, to signify that whatever this is, you needed to sacrifice one means of identification of this energy that you call home, that you call love, that you call source, that whatever this is, you needed to release something. This might be for some of you incarnated in your physical vessel, and for others of you, it's in your soul. But you'll notice that you feel drawn to this, and you're able to pick up on this energetically, spiritually, astrally, energetically. And they're showing me a person in a crowded space where everybody looks the same. Maybe if this is a person or if this is a place, there would be one identifying factor. And you being in a place filled with people with the same identifying factor and going up to them thinking, this is that person, and them turning around, but it's not. Or going to a place that looks exactly the same because you can't remember what the place is called. Like, it would be the sense of hearing that would be gone. Or you can't remember what this looks like, so the sense of sight would be gone. There's an indication where you would need to be able to see through using the portal of your heart, using the portal of your spirit, using the one eye, the all-seeing eye, the third eye, not through polarity, not through duality. And there's the sense of a brave move that you took, willing to make this sacrifice to find this energy again, knowing that no pain, no illusion of pain, no illusion of difficulty could be bad enough that it could keep you from feeling fulfilled when you finally reach your goal, when you finally get to this place, when you finally experience this energy again. And they're saying that there's almost this sense of compulsion that comes along with this. The sense of being bestowed with the memory of the imprint of this energy. This memory that comes with a sense of nostalgia, this energy that comes with a sense of amnesia almost, but where you're able to pinpoint it very generally. And so some of you might be painting swirls of colors, and this would be like a synesthesia example of what your heart is experiencing, the eyes of your heart. Some of you could be writers, and you would be utilizing the words that connect with the stream of energies that identify with this. And there's almost this energy of underneath the surface, of reading between the lines that's coming up here. Whatever this is, it just exists. They're showing me Saint Francis of Assisi. They're also showing me Isis, the goddess. There is emphasis here on walking blindly, walking by faith, not by sight, of a story being told over and over again, and you being able to say, wait, that's familiar to me. Why is that familiar to me? Why do I know that that's just a little bit off? Why do I know that that's spot on? Why do I feel pain when this comes up? Why do I feel joy when this comes up? Because there is some story here that's been replicated for generations, through time and space, many times. And it's your story. So it feels familiar to you. There's this energy of relaxing, of releasing, of flowing along with the universe, of knowing that what is yours will simply find you. Because you choose to venerate and adorn yourself. They're showing me this energy here. First and foremost, of some sort of imploding energy. Maybe if it's if only you had your sight, then you could see. If only you had your hearing, you could hear. If only you had whatever this was that was the most identifying factor for you. So, oh, I'll be able to see you again so you don't have the sight. Or, oh, I'll be able to go there again so you can't use your legs. Something like this. Whatever this is that you sacrificed, they're showing me The Little Mermaid, where Ariel's identifying factor was her voice. So that's what needed to get taken away. With this card here, they're showing me an important event relating to, they're showing me water and sky and the cosmos and plasma, but almost all is the same kind of substance. So, some of you may resonate with having a life of a different form on this earth. Some of you might resonate with a Mintaka or being a starseed, and I'm going to leave this general since this is a reading for everybody. But they're showing me this flowing substance, like the universe, like the ocean, something that is infinite, very deep, and minutely explored. But for some reason, you seem to have this map, this instinct that shows you where to go because it's familiar to you. And there's this energy of almost accidentally becoming a leader because you're wishing to now see what it's like to be on the other side of this energy. You got to embrace it, so now you experience the lack so that you can experience the fullness of it again, but from a happier perspective, from a more grateful perspective. And you are never not grateful to begin with. This is merely an act of love, an act of kindness. They're showing me also a baker. Okay, so that can be significant as well. They're showing me a library, a literal library with books apart from the Akashic records. They're showing me a library, they're showing me a painter, they're showing me a baker, they're showing me a river. Could be very significant here. They're showing me somebody weeping by a river, mourning the lost loved one. I'm going to pull the tarot cards now. Important events from the Akashic records of group number 1, please. Important events from the Akashic records of group number 1. You have the World, the King of Cups, and the Two of Cups. I'm hearing reunion. We have 4 with the Magician, 4 of Swords, 5 and 6 Queen of Cups here. They asked me to take 6 cards, which means that you are noticing the perfection of the present moment right now. Before you tap into the divinity of this energy, you have 6 of Cups at the back of the deck. Here's your nostalgia. They're showing me a feeling. This doesn't go here, okay. They're showing me a feeling of you walking through that lifetime or this lifetime or just the cosmos in general with the sense of loving nostalgia. The sense of knowing that anything that has once been together is simultaneously apart because of the allowance of the perception of togetherness. And anything that is apart is already together because of the illusion of separateness. This dynamic of duality. There is an event here about you experiencing wholeness, you experiencing oneness, you experiencing fulfillment, you experiencing unity, and wanting to take a step beyond this. And they're showing me somebody pulling a needle from a grenade or from a bomb. This moment of pressure, max capacity, this moment of you wanted to expand, you wanted to take that next step, to take another step deeper, and this led towards an increase of pressure, where there was no more room for this, an increase in spiritual energy, an increase in fire or plasma, where there was no space for this. And so, the external space was utilized. Whatever this was exploded in a sense where it needed to come back apart so that it could come together again, through faith, through love, through trust, through internal guidance. I'm hearing two parts of a whole, or many parts of a whole. They're showing me 212 here, with the king in the center, with the 21 on this side. A slight imbalance here, where there will be one energy that is seemingly more balanced, and another energy that is seemingly more emotional and intuitive. The balanced energy will retain an ability to create. This is where the artistic expression card comes in with Paul the Venetian. And if you'll notice, he has his right hand on his heart, which is a position of self-Reiki, allowing yourself to give energy to your heart. There's definitely a lesson here of self-love, not because you lacked it, but because you are meant to follow where your heart is leading you. I'm hearing the prayer of St. Francis. Now with the Six of Cups as the overarching energy here, there is a sense of loyalty towards this particular art form, towards cracking this code, towards completing the puzzle, towards following your map, towards being magnetized towards this one energy, whatever this is, that you know is home for you, but you feel blinded towards, or you feel deaf towards, or you feel some sort of whatever this is that you laid down, you sacrificed, in order to find this energy again. And this created a deep wound within you that was beautiful because it allowed your inner child, who knows about this, by the way, to heal and to experience pain and difficult experiences, but with the knowing that it wasn't even nearly half as bad as the beauty that would come from you walking through this sacrifice, the physical manifestations of your next incarnation, carrying the burden of the love that went along with the sacrifice. There might be some travel involved. You might be somebody who wants to create a new color. You can be somebody who wants to travel all over the world, or who feels very drawn towards a particular person, place, thing, activity, hobby. And this is because you are following your heart to lead you to where your soul is yearning for, without the illusion of separateness, which is inadvertently calling these two things back together as a form of the universe re-experiencing itself and descending back to source, as a form, as a version of everything coming apart so that it can come back together, unfolding something and experiencing the particles of the good, of the bad, of the love, of the injustice, of the justice, of everything, so that you can work through them one by one on a more zoomed in scale, so that you can fine-tune that painting. You know that one spot of color, that one dot should be there. Maybe you don't know why, but you just know that it should be. These little intuitive, instinctual nudges now are far more intelligent than you think. And we do have the King and Queen of Cups, with the Two of Cups in the center. There is this mutual knowing between you and this energy that we mentioned in the very beginning. The universe, God, source, you, your lost loved one, this lost place, you painting a landscape, and the landscape speaking back to you, this alive nature, this person, this being, whatever this is, this universe, saying, wow, that sure is beautiful, and you responding, I'm only replicating you. Don't you know how beautiful you are? And this beautiful energy of identifying where there was once lack of sight in one's inability to identify themselves, and in your ability to help this energy remember, and vice versa, when it came time for you to sacrifice your memory, your recognition, and this energy being a beacon for you, knowingly or unknowingly, to you or this energy. You are definitely a person with a sense of a mission here, in this realm, on this planet, in this lifetime. And you're definitely someone who's done quite a bit of the healing work. I dare I say all of it. A lot of it. And there's still this question here of the red string of fate. But it's a little more intentional. There's this energy of knowing. They're showing me an image through this Four of Swords card where, say, you've lost your sight, but you can feel this thread, and you're tugging on this thread, and after a while it takes you, they're showing me Lord of the Rings, like it's taking you through this very uncertain journey. This, it's only uncertain because there's something you don't remember, or there's something that you sacrificed, there's something that you, like your greatest strength became your greatest weakness, so that you could rise above and find the spiritual source of this energy. And you kept pulling on the string, leading you to where you belong, and after a while, it led you so far away from your perceived home, so far away from where you once were, far away from where this wound was created, from where your childhood was planted, that after a while, with seeing nothing and feeling everything and not knowing exactly what's going on, this string became your safe space. It became your home. It became your sanctuary. And here we see the Four of Swords, you taking a moment, taking a beat, and creating a home for yourself anywhere because you feel comfortable knowing that this thread of attachment is there with you. And as we know, the reason for incarnation into this realm is attachment. There's almost this energy of once you find what it is that you're attached to, you can finally release it and detach from it, because the illusion of separateness will no longer be there. As such, you're learning to release requirement or neediness or lack of fulfillment or lack of wholeness due to this energy, because it's already within you, because you have its imprint, because you are whatever this energy is, experiencing itself, trying to find itself, going back home to itself. They're showing me here great changes occurring in your near future as you come back into connection with whatever energy this is, stumbling onto it likely by accident until energetically through your heart, through the portal, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth of your heart, you're able to identify, wait, I'm here now. Wait, it's here. They're showing me you knowing where you can find a particular energy and continually showing up at this place time and time again, knowingly or unknowingly, but being drawn somewhere, knowing that one of these times you're going to encounter this energy, and it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be in this incarnation, but for some reason, your soul, your heart just knows. If you walk this path, or you show up at this geographical location, or if you sing that one note, or if you take a certain journey somewhere, you're going to end up re-encountering this energy, and this energy almost seems to be restoring whatever it is that you've sacrificed. Like being blind until you see the thing that you sacrificed your sight for, and your sight being restored. There's this energy of the universe dispelling into infinite pieces to experience itself. And the more that it realizes how beautiful it is, the more it realizes that every single particle is beautiful and amazing and perfect, the more it feels like it wants to come back to itself, not like it has to, like it wants to, like that's where it belongs. And there's this very similar dynamic between you and whatever this energy is. They're showing me Frida Kahlo laying on her back, making paintings, holding the paintbrush with her mouth because she couldn't paint with her hands. Getting creative, using your vision, knowing that nothing is impossible. And there's this sense of magic that goes along with this. There's a sense of ancient knowledge, ancient knowing, of knowledge of the truth of a particular story or stories. There's some sort of storyline or understanding of a particular story because you were there. You experienced it. And so you're able to see where others get lost and confused. You're able to see the sacrifices of others through their pain, through their struggles, through their difficulties, through their happiness, their joy. It's almost you're able to identify yourself in this sense through all others because you have the true version of the story, because it's your story that they're telling. There's this energy of maybe you're an ancient being, maybe you resonate with being having another life as a divine being, as a divine counterpart perhaps, or as a starseed or something. Whatever it is that your individual incarnation right now identifies with, for your truth that leads you to the truth. And you're able to identify the different individual truths that walk around, but because you have the truth within, because you see where they're telling your own story as a means of learning your truth. And as you learn yourself, and as you walk through the sacrificial lessons that you've chosen for yourself, knowing that it's worth it to go back to that one thing that you loved so much, that you grew attachment, that you decided to incarnate. Having your truth has been what led you back to your home. And you're noticing that when you look back to the past, now, things make more and more sense. You're able to see the way that everything was perfectly woven, when even though you couldn't see, or you couldn't hear, or you couldn't speak, or you couldn't walk, whatever this is, however you couldn't remember, you still did. Without being able to see through your physical eyes, you saw through your one eye. Without being able to hear the song, you still composed music. Without being able to know where you were going, you walked that path that led you to exactly where you've walked a million times. Your instinct, your memory, this imprint of this energy, creates a beautiful ebb and flow within the universe. They're showing me like rainbow light. There's this energy of this coming together, and if you're working through the emotions, the water-ruled emotions in your sacral chakra that you needed to process and get through, and that would be the energy of how this energy made you feel, how you feel without this energy, the things that come up as you remember more and more, the energy of the sacrifice, the energy of walking through this, the energy of everything, the energy of strength, the energy of pure love, of gratitude, of pure loss, pure grief, pure pain, all of the emotions. And looking back and seeing that that was the gift. That was the gift. What was once seemingly tumultuous, what once seemed like a burden, was a gift because it led you intuitively, instinctually. It was your memory when your memory had been released from you. It was your sight when your eyes could no longer see. It was your path when the jungle had grown over the path and it was no longer there. You allowed yourself to follow yourself intuitively to where you were meant to be. And whatever art this is, I'm hearing to tell you it's working. I'm hearing to tell you there's more information here for you to learn. There are memories for you to remember. And they're showing me somebody's eyes welling up with happy tears. There are memories encoded within this art beyond memories of this life. They're ancient. They're wise. They're truthful. They're connected to Source. You're being asked to tap into your soul star chakra in order to see a little bit deeper. There's an energy of your body instinctually leading you exactly through what you needed to learn, exactly led you to where you needed to go. Everything just lines up so perfectly. And there's this energy where you might have felt like you weren't moving, you weren't making progress, you weren't going in this direction, but in fact you were running, you were sprinting. And it led you to the other side of this hurt, to the other side, to the love that caused this pain, to the purity that caused the sacrifice, to the light that caused the shadow, the beauty, the silver lining. I'm going to pull from my Follow Your Heart Oracle. What else do you need to know? Important events from the Akashic Records of group number 1. I just keep hearing it's within you, it's within you. You have intuitive water. You are more on point than you think you are. You are more special than you think you are. You are more significant. You know more than you are giving yourself credit for, and you know this as well. There's this energy of you coming into this knowing, you've known this, and allowing yourself to create an active intuition where you are no longer sightlessly seeing. You're no longer without movement, sprinting. You are no longer without hearing, creating music. You are now. It's almost that this sight has been restored, this sacrifice, it's being restored of your own volition. And you're being called to be brave one more time, to be strong one more time, as you come back to this unconditional love and you release, yes, this mental narrative that you've needed to create as a coping mechanism in order to protect yourself, in order to walk through the jungle where you couldn't see a path, but you just knew there was one there and you were already on it. You're being asked to know that what your soul has been telling you, what your emotions and your intuition have been flowing you through, the abundance, the nourishment of this energy within you, it's been within you all along. And it was never outside of you. The blessing was getting to be able to experience it externally from you. And so, this illusion of separateness is what's leaving. And they're showing me Ra, okay, the sun god. You might be interested in looking at the eyes of, the eye of Ra, okay? I believe that is the left eye, interestingly enough. And there's an energy here of you having a bit more creative liberty and perhaps not knowing what to do with it, or wondering if it's going to take you to where you need to go, or wondering what's next. There's this wonderment. There's this wonder that is beyond where you're at right now. And you're being called to erase the mental narrative, to not even notice anything outside of yourself. And then, from that central energy, that central point, from that swirling rainbow golden energy, that magnet, that string that you were tugging on, now that you can see it, You can see how beautiful it is, and you can see it, you can call it by name, you can find it within you. You now can release, you can shed the external realm, you can shed the illusion. And you're being given creative freedom, creative liberty from a state of balance. Notice that we have the light, the dark, and then the golden source light. Notice that you have the golden source light and the love back into white light. There's this refraction where there's no more illusion of shadow. Which lets me know that you're either unconsciously already in connection or communion with this energy. You found it within you. You followed this beacon. You've been brave enough, strong enough to walk through this, walk out of this energy, come into union, King and Queen of Cups with the Two of Cups and the Magician. Because you created this, because you couldn't find it outside of you, so you created it. And you realized that what you were creating came from inside of you, and what you were creating was something else, but it wasn't, it was you. It was you the entire time. And you're releasing the mental narrative that was anything else, and now you're looking back again at this blank canvas, or at this painting that you started, or the song that you were writing, or you're looking again at the composition sheet. And you're saying, well, now what do I create? And so there's this beautiful energy of being back at square one and wondering what you're going to do with it. And you're being called to settle into this energy of no longer needing to run, no longer needing to find something outside of yourself. And this event is coming full circle. Any illusion is being dispelled. Any illusion of separateness is no longer there. And so it's being bestowed upon you externally as well. Because the external is now an illusion. So everything that you're connected with internally is now outside of you as well, as states the law of the universe. You've been manifesting. You've been acting towards this energy. And once you found it within, you magnetized it back to you. So now, you see through the portal of your own heart, and there's this one more grand expansion that's occurring. And it's allowing you to feel the connectedness, the connectivity of everything, and tap into your emotional body and your intuition a bit more, a bit stronger. And as you do this, you're noticing how everything, consciously or unconsciously, blinded or with sight, you're realizing that even when you were walking through the shadows, you were merely blinded by the light. Everything that seemed to be hurting you was really nourishing you. And whatever this is that you now feel so connected to because you were separated from it for so long, it's now showing up in your external realm. And I think that's why you were drawn to this reading today, group number 1. Because this old event from your Akashic records, it's reapproaching for you now. It's coming full circle. They're showing me this L shape in your aura on the front of your body where the karma is held. Okay? And pushing out this dense L-shaped energy from about your throat, about your left lymph node, to your left rotator cuff on your shoulder. And it just being pushed out, but gently. And as this gets dispelled, this energy coming up from your kundalini, up and out through your heart chakra, this golden, beautiful light, and refilling the space that was here. If you're an energy worker and you have a practice that might resonate with that, go ahead and practice this. You're being drawn to notice the reflexivity of everything. When you look at something, oh, that's so beautiful. You're so beautiful, group number 1. When you see something, wow, that reminds you of you. And finally, back to the storyline of yours that you see everybody guessing or rewriting or waking up to or trying to put the pieces together. Just keep creating with a smile on your face, knowing that you know what you know, knowing that you are who you are, And knowing that because you've remembered, everyone else will too. All right, group number 1. I'd like to thank you so much for being here. This was your channeled message about your important events from the Akashic Records. I really hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Don't forget to check out your other reading from SourceLightStar's channel. I will have that linked below. Thank you again for being here. I love you so much. And namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste. Welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at important events from your Akashic Records, and you selected the second group with the Crystals and Epona card. Now, first and foremost, they are showing me literally a magical realm. So you might resonate with other places such as Lemuria, Atlantis, Agartha, simultaneously Mintaka, Tartary. Now, there are a lot of places that I've just listed that are, or have been, or simultaneously are, depending on your perception of time and space. On this particular planet, on this realm, within the being of Gaia somewhere, within her aura, there's this energy of existing beyond the veil. I'm getting that this group is very psychic, very intuitive, I'm getting claircognizant and clairvoyant. With the Crystals card, they're showing me, I'm hearing Ketal as I'm looking at Tal and crystals here. There's this energy of you knowing what is, what's going on from a higher perspective, from almost a cellular perspective. And of course, with the crystal card here, this is showing me somebody with a 12-strand DNA activation or a 14-strand crystalline DNA activation. They're showing me the transmutation or transcendence from golden light to crystalline light. This almost unfolding, this refraction. And they're showing me, I'm hearing Yama, and this is indicating something coming to a close so that something else can open, much like this Vajra here. Transmutation of energy, this existing on both sides of the veil. You might resonate with being a psychopomp, with being a bridge walker, a medium, or something like this. Now, diving into the Akashic Records, they're showing me a realm that for many might be perceived as dark and scary, and they're also showing me a realm that to others might seem fantastical and miraculous, like a fairy tale. There is some sort of integration of these two realms that is your being, or that you have walked, that you have embodied, that you have encompassed, that allow you to see directly through the veil of illusion in this current incarnation. Now, they're showing me a particular event. They're showing me somebody getting served like a meal or something, served something passed to them on a table like this, and you looking up and saying no. There's this energy of not taking or receiving something because it seems like I'm hearing poison. Okay, I'm hearing something about fighting, something about being a warrior, something about having walked through this illusion or this deception before and identifying it when it shows up. This is in your Akashic Records. So whether or not this imprints and repeats into this current incarnation, I'm getting that that was the cycle breaker. So you might have some sort of memory or distinct awareness of this type of energy in this life, but it might not have been something that you've walked through, although it will be different for all of you here in this body. Now, they're showing me you, I'm hearing Yama, and this is indicating something coming to a close so that something else can open, much like this Vajra here. Directly through the veil of illusion in this current incarnation. Now, they're showing me you they're showing me two parallel versions of everything that they're showing me. They're showing me one in a very dark, deep, shadowy, hellish realm, and simultaneously the same thing occurring in a crystalline, beautiful, magical, sparkly fairy tale realm. They're showing me like fairies, and they're showing me imps. They're showing me leprechauns, and they're showing me duendes. And they're showing me that this is perception, but there's this energy with yama, that closing and that reopening. This bridge walking, this simultaneous experiencing. Maybe being dually reincarnated at once, or perhaps being an energy that has incarnated in different realms that allow you to integrate this into this current vessel, this current embodiment, this current vision of self. And there's something about the number 3 that's standing out here. You have a gift. You have a special gift. And this can be used for light and it can be used for darkness, but you hold back on using this because you've seen others use it as poison. There's this energy now, they're showing me again, somebody sliding something over to you on a table as a gift, as a presentation, and you saying, no, I don't want this. And this can be a gift of yours. This can be somebody with a similar gift, presenting you with a strengthener of this or something along the lines of your gift, and you saying, no, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. Take it away. It's poisonous. And I'm hearing truth, and I'm hearing like ointment. Okay, there's something here where this is, it's the poison and simultaneously it's the cure. This is something that it is balanced because it is dualistic, but it is not neutral because it has dualistic aspects. And so there's this this overexertion or over embodiment with the shadow elements of this because you see what it can do, as opposed to the light potential attributes of this. There's almost this energy that what's done has to become undone. What's immortal must become mortal. What's mortal must become immortal. There's kind of this back and forth energy here where to you it's easier just to wash your hands clean of this. And they're showing me ALS at the back of the crystals card, and as we know, this is a very difficult disease that makes it difficult for people to function, difficult for people to move. There's this energy that you may have felt stuck and stagnant, and I'm feeling this pressure on my aura around my heart chakra. This feeling of moving forward without this and washing your hands clean of this. Almost, they're showing me several examples, so take this however it resonates, but I'm seeing like a divine being incarnating as a human, so that they no longer need to experience or understand the truth, so that they might know it, but almost as a purposeful, like, taste of, almost like an opposite of truth serum, consciously, purposefully entering the realm of illusion in order to wipe themselves clean of this memory. I'm getting that in another life you would have seen a lot of death and destruction, or a lot of things that are difficult to deal with, a lot of things that are difficult for you to embody or speak on or allow to exist simultaneously in this realm with the positive and happy and light, beautiful attributes. But there's this energy here of almost feeling like you did this to walk more in the light, to walk more in the happiness, to walk more in the beautiful, fluffy, crystalline light side of things as a light worker, as a beautiful energy like this. But for some reason, it's like you continually get approached with a darker side of this. This may be something where when you tap into your spiritual journey, You have to embrace the fullness of the darkness before you can fully embody the light. There might be some sort of guilt or shame or internalization of this energy, when in reality, this is something that is divinely balanced and divinely orchestrated. And that entirely validates the experience that you've had, but simultaneously raises the vibration to a sense where you're being drawn to acknowledge the balanced portion of this energy, that whatever this is that you released because it's poison, it's also the very cure that you seek for this pain that's within your soul, that you almost don't dare speak about or don't dare go there or something like this. And they're drawing me to a memory. They're saying for you, this might be a dream, it might be a memory, it might be a vision, it might be a past life activation or something like this. Something that sometimes you tap into it and it's very, very distressing. And other times it's almost enjoyable. And there's this energy of not wanting it to be distressing and not wanting it to be enjoyable, this finding of balance of neutrality here. I'm going to get into your tarot cards now. They're showing me a few different things, and again, there are different versions of each one. One looks like it's in a miraculous heaven-like environment, and the other one seems like it's in a smoky, hellish environment, but it's the same scene. And I think it's the neutrality of these that are drawing balance together. I'm hearing eyewitness. There's some sort of energy here about having somebody, you might have survivor's guilt, or you might have experienced this. There's this energy of somebody, this is gonna be a trigger warning for this part, okay? Watching somebody, they're showing me somebody on a battlefield passing. They're showing me somebody getting on a train or on a car or on an airplane or some sort of transportation in order to leave and never come back, okay? This can be an illusion. Okay, they're showing me also the scene of Chiron, transferring people from the afterlife towards, or transferring souls on his boat to the afterlife. So there's this sort of transitory energy here where, and Yama was coming out as well too, this energy of something divine being portrayed as dark, okay, or something dark being portrayed as divine, and it's this apathy of it all that's coming into play. Look at this deck. Something is unchanging. It's unchanging, it's just perceived differently. We have the Lovers, and there's the Devil and the Five of Swords. Beautiful. Okay. Important events from the Akashic Records for group number 2. Important events for the Akashic Records from group number 2. Okay, 8 for this card. We have the Three of Cups. They're drawing attention to some sort of community being misperceived, misconceived, and having an illusion or having an awakening towards how they can change the way that they're perceived. Okay, they're showing me somebody, okay. They're showing me somebody running, like, take this however it resonates, but running in some sort of, like, campaign or something in order to change the way this energy is perceived. They're drawing my attention to, people have different perceptions of tarot cards. Okay, but it's all about the intention. It's all about, it's all about the intention. And there's something that's been wrongfully presented as dark, when truthfully it's neutral, when truthfully it's balanced. And there's a sense of community, of understanding this, but also the sense of, like, group that is tied and bound in a belief system, wanting this to be bad because for some reason it prevents enlightenment or prevents movement or something like this. There's this energy of they're showing me fate, okay, like the being fate, and how there are several people who say it doesn't exist, it's bad, you fight against it. And they're showing me Oedipus, who said, I don't want to believe the fate, I want to change my fate. So instead, he utilized his entire destiny, his entire free will, trying to avoid this fate that happened anyway. Because it was perceived as bad, when in reality it was balanced. It's never to harm or to help or to give anyone a leg up or to put anyone down. It's all balanced in the grand scheme of things by a higher consciousness, a higher being, a higher knowing. Even Zeus was subjected to fate in mythology. There's this energy here of something being perceived as evil when in fact it's just. But the fact that there's external pressure about it, now remembering that everything is a reflection of the internal self. Everything is a mirror. This energy of second-guessing this gift, second-guessing this identity, second-guessing, I'm hearing, who am I? Who am I to, maybe you remember particular souls, identities of yours now, or maybe you did in the past. I'm hearing, who am I to have such an identity? Who am I to have such a strength? Who am I to have such a power? Who am I to insert paradox? And it's like you know the answer. But as you know the answer, it's almost that you feel responsible tapping into the shadow aspect or attribute of this, as opposed to seeing the blessing and the gift that it really is. And I'm getting that you are being challenged to see the beauty here. But they're showing me that it's activating. They're showing me a 12-strand DNA, again, golden 12-strand DNA, refracting and unfolding into refracted crystalline 14-strand. Because there's more to unfold from within this. There's more than meets the eye here. There's more to the crystal. If you take a physical crystal and you look at the structure of it, there's more to the story. Everything that's micro is macro and macro is micro, but you can't always see everything from the first perspective that you remember seeing it with. And that's what's coming up here. You have the Hanged Man. Energy transmutation, seeing something from a different perspective, tapping into the psyche, the subconscious mind, and notice this golden light coming through her pineal gland here. We have the Four of Wands with the Eight of Cups. We have 88, abundance, walking away, leaving some sort of abundance or birthright, I mean like a soul birthright, behind. Because you feel, who am I to blank? Who am I to remember this? Who am I to have this gift, this skill? And the King of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles. This knowing there's this beautiful, powerful, divine source, gift, presence within you, and only allowing yourself to show the tip of the iceberg, or see the tip of the iceberg, or utilize the tip of the iceberg. They're showing me, now this is a negative connotation, but they're making it very clear that this is both light and dark. It's balanced, it's neutral, but they're showing me Pandora's box. They're showing me taking all of the negative, all of the bad, and locking it up in a box, and it unleashing and being afraid of this being unleashed into the realm, knowing that, oh, it's Pandora's fault, oh, it's fate's fault, oh, it's all of the fault of everything. It's perfectly balanced. There has to be a light balance of this energy. And you know what this is, and you know where to find it. And it's within you as well. You have this information, and you're being called to find it again. To understand that just because you see a rock doesn't mean it doesn't have a beautiful crystalline structure. And in order for something to be crystalline, it has to be knowledgeable, it has to be wise. And then we look at these things and we point at them and we call them non-conscious. We call them inanimate. And that is the paradox that you're looking at right now. There's something that you have chosen to, they're saying inanimate, inanimate. Something that you've chosen to crystallize. They're showing me Medusa. Something that you've chosen to freeze. And you're being challenged to crack this back open again. It's like in this life. This is being slid across the table again to you. While everything is light and happy and cheery and crystalline and gorgeous and ascended energy, and it's presenting itself as community, as abundance, as celebration, as the exact antithesis of what you felt inclined to deem this energy as. And it's presenting itself to you again, but in a light, beautiful way. And you're being called to walk through that illusion of the hurdle, to walk through that friction that's really just an illusion, and notice that there is a different, deeper, alternative understanding, an energy with which you have yet to explore again. Because what goes up has to come down. Because what goes left has to go right. Because everything in the universe must be balanced. So you're being represented with this. As you've done the work to be responsible enough to hold this, as you've done the work to first, they're showing me like a wildfire, and then they're showing me a bonfire. They're showing me you have allowed yourself to leave behind a lot of beauty because you didn't think you deserved it for some reason, because you had access to this gift which was bestowed upon you divinely, because you had access to this skill, this gift, this knowledge, whatever it is. And you are meant to walk with one foot in both sides. You are meant to see the darkness so you can understand the light. You're meant to understand the light so you can work with the darkness. You're meant to be a bridge between realms. Now, don't forget Chiron. You may want to check that out in your chart a bit, as well as your north and south nodes. But you're noticing that, as an analogy, Chiron takes souls to the afterlife. Sometimes this is grieved. Sometimes this is celebrated. Sometimes this is something good. Sometimes it's something bad. Sometimes he's seen as a wounded healer, a wounded warrior. Sometimes he's seen as the most miraculous and divine musician of all times. Sometimes he's seen as the one who trained the great Hercules and bridged the realm again between the divine, the immortal, and the mortal. There is a lot more to the story, and you know what that is too. But there's this one piece that you are allowing yourself to stay stuck on. And this is an illusion that you're releasing. There's an important event here about taking that step into the light realm after having walked in the dark, not the other way around. So, as you allow yourself to do this, know that this has happened the other way around, and that is why it makes this so hard. But it will also be one of the most beautiful experiences that your soul has on its journey back to Source. There's an important event that they're showing me here relating to a large number of beings presenting themselves to you. They're showing me a circle of ascended beings. They're showing me like divine councils, high councils of different star systems, Galactic Federation. They're showing me a Arthur's Round Table. They're showing me a meeting of very important beings, wherever, whenever this is. And this is determining the fate of something or someone or something like this. And you were the one that decided to have compassion. You were the one knowing that you had the radiant energy without error and capacity for destruction, but you were the one that radiantly and without error chose compassion. And And that's what put you where you are right now. You're being asked to remember this. They're showing me again, they're saying this meeting is very important. And you might have this energy of looking for some of these beings in this lifetime or in this realm. You'll know where to find them and you'll know where to look. They're saying, call me by my name and I will follow, or call me by my name and I will rejoin hands with you, or something like this, rejoin forces. And they're drawing me back again to like a battlefield. This can be proverbial, this can be literal, this can be physical, it can be here on Earth as a person, or not as a person. This can be in a galactic thing, this can be anything. They're showing me a great battle and losing many loved ones, losing many important beings that were in this congregation of important souls, but knowing, like grieving the loss in that realm, but knowing that things have to flip and that you will inevitably see them again. Knowing that you will have another meeting, whether or not the forms look the same, whether or not you're in the same body or the same realm or the same collective or the same whatever, the same country, whatever this is. There's an energy where you are just aware that you have maybe great power or great abundance or great spiritual rank or greatness in some way. Errorless greatness about you. It's like when you tap into the causal realms, when you tap into pratyahara, when you remove yourself from your physical senses, it draws you to immediate awareness. You might be one that ascends very quickly, that awakens very quickly. You can be one that finds the spiritual realm very easy to maneuver because you've utilized it time and time again. And as you expand and you open up to these truths and you allow yourself to wear them, you are realizing and remembering this moment where you slid your gift back across the table and you said, I don't want this. And there's almost this question of, wait, can I have it back? Can I have it back? And it's like, who are you asking? This is yours. It's yours. You know how to use it. And you know what to use it for. And some of you are still confused as to about what you're supposed to use this for. And the answer is that you don't have this for anybody else. You don't have this because of anybody else. You're not supposed to be in a position to use this for anybody else. But you were. And that is why this hurt so bad when it was used for the darkness, because it was used for the light. They're drawing me to a part in the Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna is put in a situation where there is a great war and he is being called to fight in a war against his family, against his brethren, against his loved ones. And he refuses to fight. He refuses to go to war. And he sits down in meditation and prayer and he talks to God. And he asks, how can this be the right thing to do? It's not the right thing to do, to go to war and fight against my family. I don't want to shed the blood of my own. And God, in this case Krishna, speaks back to Arjuna. And he reminds him that everything is immortal and limitless, and that happiness and distress must be treated alike. He reminds Arjuna that anything outside of himself does not exist, because everything is a reflection of oneself. And so he says, if it is your duty to fight in this battle, why would you think that this bloodshed would actually kill an immortal soul? And he reminds him, it's just like taking off your clothes at the end of the day. It's just like bathing your skin in the morning. And there's this energy here of wanting to walk away from something that seems destructive. wanting to form a community against that which is seemingly terrifying, but it's only terrifying because the opposite end of that is not being embraced. Being presented with an opportunity to embrace the other side of this is balance. You're being asked to ponder on the situation and know that this has been bestowed upon you for a reason. This is unchanging. Even you turning this away does not make it not yours, does not make you not have this gift anymore, does not make you not have experienced this anymore. Doing bad things in one life doesn't make you a bad soul. Doing good things in a life doesn't make you a good soul. You just are part of the infinite. There's this there's an indication here that you know that you are sitting on a gold mine, or that you know that you have this beautiful gift, or that you know that it is your birthright to be abundant in some way. And there's almost this refusal to look at this, or this trying to beat around the bush or avoid this energy, or try to downplay it or laugh at it or something like this. And this comes from this situation, from this wound, from downplaying yourself, when in reality, you're not just refusing something or a gift or an object or an opportunity or a memory or yourself. You're pushing away something that cannot inherently be pushed away. The entire universe in and of itself. Source. And so, there's a new beginning for you in which you are safe, you are protected, you are responsible, you are matured, you are intentionally walking what the universe has planned out for you. So don't avoid your fate by trying to run around and beat it. We have limited time. You might have a few manifestations that you're noticing come to the surface, and you might be a bit distressed about them, because you might be challenged to reapproach this energy before you get to embrace the positivity that you've been drawing towards you. There is a need to remember why it was good that something bad happened, and why it could have been bad that something good happened, so that you can balance the two. You're being called to remember that the soul is immortal. It cannot be killed. There's a need to remember who and what you were so that you can identify and know who and what you are. And I think with this group number 2, I think you already know. I keep hearing, what is that song? Call me by your name. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's also they're showing me the music video too, where he's all dressed as like a demon, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you can't do that! It's demonic!" And he's like, "I'm making music and I'm spreading love. Like I don't see what the problem is." And exactly, there's this energy here of like you wanting to show up and you wanting to spread love and everything being so well intended, because it is infinite. So you know that even this memory, whatever this is, that you looked at and you said, "Oh, no, that's poison. I have to push that away. That's bad. I can't do that. I can't remember that. I can't think that because it goes against whatever this is, this framework." Everything, including the framework, including expansion beyond this framework, including the shadow attributes and the light attributes, they were intentionally placed by no other than yourself in order to allow yourself to experience the infinite universe. Nothing that can be destroyed, nothing that can be destroyed has ever been created. Now, break it down really simply. Nothing can be created or destroyed. There's an energy here of wanting to wanting to go back to another lifetime, wanting to go back and change something, wanting to go back to understand something, to re-embody a particular energy, to re-understand, re-experience something. That's coming up very strongly. I'm getting, you might have a lot of memories from this life, okay? You might have a lot of, maybe you have access to the Akashic records yourself. There's this energy of trying to downplay yourself or trying to seem unsuspecting, okay? Trying to, there is this, ask for help, yes. Okay. There is this phrase in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Naturally originating inner radiance is uncreated from the very beginning. It says that there's naturally originating cognition was uncreated by anyone. Nothing has ever been born or will die, and how anything that has roamed throughout cyclic existence cannot die, it cannot be born. And even though it's seen ascension, it's seen the light, it's seen Buddhahood, it cannot improve, even though it's seen Buddhahood. And even though it's present in everyone, it's still unrecognized. And that is what this is looking at for you here. It's still, one seeks something outside of this, and that's the intention of incarnation, was this seeking for something outside of this, to draw you back towards where you come from, because it's present within. And so one seeks it externally, because internally and externally exist simultaneously. And there's this friction between the two, this friction between the positive and the negative, and the shadow and the light, and this golden light and this crystalline light, and all of these different aspects of yourself. Ask for help, divine protection. You are definitely retapping into this. There's an event here where you pushed this away. You said, no, this is bad for me, it's bad for somebody else, it's bad for the poison, I'm not going to do this to somebody, I'm not going to do this to myself, the collective, whatever this is. No, I don't want this anymore. And you gave it away. And you reincarnated, knowing that you were special, knowing that you had this, knowing that you could do this, with your angels, spirits, guides, ancestors telling you, remember who you are. Hey, remember what you can do. Do you remember this? Remember how amazing and fantastic you are? And when you tap into it, it's scary. It's not intended to be. It is merely cosmic. It is merely existent. Ask for help. There's this energy of you asking for somebody to present you with the illusion of taking this away, asking for help, knowing that in and of itself is what breaks the barrier and taps into this. That in and of itself is what shows you, of course you're beautiful, of course you're worthy, of course you're capable, of course you are ethereal and perfect and abundant and infinite. It's this perfect divine paradox of wanting to end something knowing that it can't be ended, calling something a shadow attribute even though you know it's light. And do know that you are divinely protected, and that there are beings out here, incarnated, not incarnated, in this collective, not in this collective, everywhere, that see your light, they see your rainbow, they see your aura. For some of you, your aura is a very significant part of your incarnation. Some of you, I'm hearing walking anomaly, okay? With crystals, some of you might have a crystalline aura. There's this energy of having a very strong connection with the earth, the elemental realm, having a strong connection with the fairies, the fae, and you knowing exactly why this is too, and brushing it off a little bit, or keeping it to yourself. There's this event here that is positive, that you are like both begging to remember and avoiding at the same time. And so the neutralized energy behind this is merely accept and allow. Go with the flow here. Ask for help seeing this, because there's this whole other beautiful part of the story that paints you in a different light, that paints this gift in a different light, that paints this information in a different light. There is this whole realm. I'm hearing elemental realm. There's this entire realm that is magical and beautiful and ethereal and limitless. And that is your inherent nature. It's your inherent structure, your inherent belonging. It's the very fabric and foundation of who and what you are right now. You are a walking and living embodiment of the light attributes of this energy. And so instead of pushing yourself away because shadow has existed, it always has, it always will, and it never did, and it never will. Allow yourself to look within yourself and see that beauty. Because you are beautiful. You are just as much everything else, and positive and negative, and all of the attributes that you perceive internally and externally. You are just as special. You are just as crystalline. You are just as permanent. You are just as infinite. You are just as loving and capable and worthy as the most capable and loving and worthy thing you could ever even fathom. And there's this memory here in the Akashic Records for you, this event of being honored and adorned and cherished and acknowledged for this. And you're being asked to embrace this beauty, this love, this light, this gratitude. This is about self-love for you. Standing in your power, standing in your truth, standing in remembrance. Allowing yourself to be who and what you are, knowing, unafraid, that it's infinite, knowing unafraid that it's immortal, knowing unafraid the fullest potential that you've seen before and you truly genuinely remember, and letting yourself know, embody, and act on according to plan, as it always has been, and ever will be, the beautiful light, beautiful attributes, again, beautiful, of you, of this. Allow yourself to release this. Release anything that merely exists because you don't want attachment to it. When you detach from this, when you unlatch it from you, you will feel full again. You will feel like a full embodiment of yourself again. You will have these positive memories again, and you'll go, oh, that's right. Oh, it's not as serious as I thought. Oh, it's much more beautiful than I thought. Oh, it's not as scary as I thought. Because there's this one bit that you've been stuck on. And while this is valid, it is not. While it is valid, it is also errorless. And it's just as existent as it is non-existent. So release some of the importance on that energy. And allow yourself to arise. Allow yourself to ascend. Allow yourself to ask for help and divine protection if you need a little bit of guidance here. Allow yourself to step into your truth and fully embody it. Because there's a reason why that's scary for you. And the reason why it's scary for you is because of how beautiful it's going to be. Inevitably. So let yourself dive. Let yourself make a splash. Let yourself be seen. Your duty is your duty. And remember that regardless of what form or shape or characteristics or story or flesh or being that you are in the moment, who and what you inherently are never goes anywhere. It can change shape, it can change size, it can wear a different persona every few incarnations or so. But you know who and what you are, and it's definitely not a bad thing. So love yourself radically, group number 2. Love yourself radically. Love the light and the shadow and everything in between. And remember your friends. Remember your friends outside of this incarnation that are here for you, Remember your friends, ask for their help remembering. They want to, Three of Cups, it's like they want to show you, like they want to give you a big surprise party. They want to celebrate you. They want to help you remember your beauty, your amazingness, as they have before, and they will again. Remember your loved ones, remember your friends. They've always been right in front of your face. And you know this as well. Don't be too sad to look them in the eyes. Don't be too afraid to see through the realm. Love yourself so much that you get to see the beauty on the other side of this. It's gonna happen anyway. Might as well be where you're at right now. Alright, group number 2. That is all I have for you. That is important events from your Akashic records. I'd like to thank you so much for being here today, and don't forget to go check out the other part of your reading on SourceLightStar's channel. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity onto your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, miraculous realm. I love you. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at important events from your Akashic records, and you selected the third group with positive change and Paravati. As we know, Paravati is the wife of Shiva, and she is a goddess of abundance and beauty and marriage and connection. And they're showing me somebody living a very lonely life and desiring for connection, but being fulfilled upon previous connections from other lifetimes or other times during that life, or like the forward memory or premonition or aspiration of connections in the future. They're showing me with this wheel, they're drawing me to a spindle, like a spinning wheel, and they're showing me Rumpelstiltskin, so that story can be significant for you as well, threading gold. Now with Paravati here, she's the wife of Shiva, and oftentimes Shiva is associated with Shakti as his counterpart, but in reality Paravati was his wife. She was the loyal and true, devoted and honest and loyal, true partner here. And they're saying, I'm hearing that song Sit Still, Look Pretty. There's this energy here where you've been blessed in this lifetime or in a previous lifetime of with astonishing beauty inside and outside. And there's almost this exact opposite way of being perceived. Maybe this time alone, wherever this is that we're diving into today, caused you to change your perspective about yourself, or to see yourself one way when truly you were another, or to have a perception of yourself that was entirely antithesis to the truth. That truth being loyalty and purity and honesty and beauty internally and externally. You're being called to remember the positive change that you had in the lives of others and their connections during that time alone. They're showing me somebody mixing tinctures, like in a cave far, far away, where somebody needs to like hear about this medicine person from word of mouth and go hike a mountain to get to the cave and hope that the person's there. Like, they're showing me very drastic examples of being like hidden away in order to perfect a craft, to spin a golden thread, to do something. You had been isolated or made to feel isolated in a particular moment, so that when you do come to connection, it feels all that more supple, all that more abundant, all that more beautiful. We're going to take a look at this significant event. I'm seeing continually, I'm seeing somebody who is alone, who is isolated from the rest of the world or the collective or wherever this is that this resonates with in time and space. You being like perhaps a nomad or an expat, or perhaps being alone in a cave, or maybe meditating in the mountains or something like this. And people coming to you and you sharing with them your craft or your skill or whatever, but people just showing up and leaving and showing up and leaving, and rarely the same face twice. Rarely people come to visit you who want nothing of you. They're showing me, or you have a strict sense of duty, a strict sense of mission, and it's beautiful. It comes from love, it comes from mastery, it comes from skill, it comes from divinity. But I'm seeing this desire to see beyond, to experience what others experience, this outsider looking in energy who just wants to dip their toe in the pool for a little bit just to see what it's like. Maybe this is to see what it's like to be human, or see what it's like to be in a certain type of connection, or a particular job, or a particular field, or type of artist or hobby. There's this energy of knowing that you are the best at something, and knowing that it's your duty to fulfill, but also wanting to see the other side, wanting to see what it's like to be not as responsible for others, to be not as not as skilled, but just to get to be free a little bit. There's a sense of you being bestowed such a beautiful gift, or such a beautiful skill, or you being such a particular being that people seek to you for many different reasons, perhaps for healing, for growth, for whatever this is. But you're not receiving this in return, although you can provide it for yourself, not meeting somebody who can provide this with you in return. So there's almost this, I'm hearing like identity theft, but it's not like theft. It's kind of this energy of going undercover and experiencing the world from another point of view. They're showing me like a king or a queen or a prince or a princess, like wanting to make friends with, or fall in love with, or get a job amongst like regular normal people and see what it feels like to experience that. So you go undercover and go interact with the regular realm, very like Princess and the Pauper kind of vibe. This might be where you resonate with being like a starseed, or a divine being, or an ancient deity, and wanting to incarnate here just to see what it feels like. Or they're showing me when I was very, very young, I was raised in a Christian religion. They would always tell me when we pray, it's most of the time people's inclination to ask God for help, to ask him for guidance, to ask for a blessing, to ask for something, to want for something. And there's this memory coming to mind where it says, somebody said to me, don't forget to, like, never forget to say thank you to God too. Don't forget to give God some love too, because they're always the one giving out the love. And less often than you think is on the receiving end of it. Just because one has so much to offer doesn't mean that it wouldn't be nice to receive that in return. They're showing me like a medicine person, always helping out other people when they're sick, and then being alone to tend to themselves when they're sick. They're showing me somebody tapping people open to their magical abilities, and the same person having to walk a strenuous and difficult, painful road in order to master them themselves, to be at a point to show people how this works. Without having that leader, without having that safe space for themselves. And they're showing me darshan, spiritual sight. This is when, say you wish to tap in with Paravati. This darshan would be when she appears to you as an apparition, and you make eye contact with her through her one eye and your one eye. Your three eyes, positive, negative, right, left, and the third eye all together as one eye. You look right at her. There's this energy of you being showered with abundance, with gifts, with beautiful memories, beautiful skills and abilities and things. And there's this energy where you can have all of everything in the world, but no one to share it with. You can have all the skills, you can help out as many people as you like, but it's that that intimacy. There's some form of intimacy that you can find within yourself. You can find within the universe. You can find within God, but there's this moment of seeking, of craving, to be able to experience it. I'm hearing like through the flesh, or to be able to experience it from the outside, not only from the inside, to be able to be provided with what it is that you're providing with others. Or for others of you, to let go, to finally shake off some of this responsibility, to not be called by your name all the time, to just walk around unsuspecting, to just blend in with the crowd. There's definitely this energy of positive change here about being grateful for where you're at. They're showing me, like, they're fast forwarding a little bit, showing me a while later. Once you've experienced both sides of everything, and you come back together and you're grateful for both, and you're able to integrate and put together all that you've learned as your divine self, as your royal, beautiful self, and as this regular, insignificant self as well. Everything is just as significant as it is insignificant, as are you. And now you're grateful for the ability to experience both, but there's still this sense of community that you are either tapping into, opening up to, or seeking or desiring. Now, there seems to be a very important event. I'm hearing a rude awakening, okay, on both sides of this scale, okay, where you would understand one person's perspective as to why they would inflict something upon someone else, and then being on the other side to experience being inflicted upon you or a loved one. There is a song from this band that I like that's kind of nerdy, but he says, the song is called Plastic Flowers, and it says, we are all either the victims or the victim's family, like in the end. And there's this energy of kind of understanding this sense of connectivity, that all are the victim and all are the perpetrator, all is everybody in some way is a victim and a victim's family. At the same time, all are divine, all are infinite, all are finite. There's this beautiful connectivity everywhere, but there's an event here that almost changed your perspective and allowed you to come back to this fullness, to this initial position of power, in a way where it's like closing out the storybook, closing out the chapter, and stepping back onto your throne, or going back home, or whatever this is, going back into your little cave, and really seeing it differently, being grateful for where you're at, and having this like bittersweet taste in your mouth about where you are and what you experience. It's like being in yin and craving the yang, and being in yang and craving the yin, and knowing that along this journey there will always be a positive and equal balance of both, regardless of how it's distributed or where it's distributed. And sometimes that's a beautiful truth, and sometimes it's a very painful truth, and it really depends on the situation. And there's this energy, this emphasis here of being a healer, or being like a bestower of people's wishes. Okay, you could have been you could have been like a ruler of a country. You could have been like a divine being, someone who remembers being like an ancient god or goddess or deity. You could be somebody who is a starseed or an important figure in history. There's this emphasis also, you could have been like a healer or a very renowned craftsman, where it was almost all work, no play for you, and so you learned how to find play in the work. And there's this energy of coming back around and realizing how lucky you were just to get to focus on this one craft, and almost wanting like this nostalgia when you're there of wanting to not be there, and when you're not there, wanting to be there. So we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to pull your tarot cards now. Let's see. With Paravati, this is all about connection and beauty. There's something here where it's like you're learning how to gift what you've bestowed onto others to yourself, and not because you have to. Not because you have to, although you might, but because it's a blessing, because you have the capacity to, because maybe somebody wants, let's use the like medicine or herbalist example. Maybe you're in a cave and you're an herbalist, okay? Somebody comes to you and they really want, maybe they want like a beauty serum, okay? And maybe you feel like your back is kind of hunched and you're feeling kind of tired because you're always doing your herbalism work. You're always studying. You're always harvesting herbs and drying them out and making tinctures and things like this for your clients, for your patients. Allowing yourself to have beauty serum for yourself, or allowing yourself to, whatever this is, use it on yourself because it's like a luxury. And you're realizing that people come to you out of necessity, but it's really out of a luxury, and that you are the luxury. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You have 9 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. There's this sense of nostalgia. I'm hearing like blessed and cursed to walk the realm with nostalgia following you around. Okay, so that can be significant for some of you. There's the World that wanted to pop out, but it didn't fall. We have 96, 1996, 1994, 1964 can be significant for you. King of Pentacles. Okay. You may have, like, you could be a strong oracle, or you could be like a thought leader in this life or in this other life that we're speaking of here. There's an element here of you already knowing what's to come, because you've walked it before and you'll walk it again, and just knowing. And there's almost this dullness of wanting to break a particular cycle, but knowing that it's not your cycle to break, and almost feeling as though you are for others. And feeling that almost loss of an independent identity. So the blessing was being alone. The blessing was that alone time. And then once that identity was gone, once you had clouded that identity, feeling that you had broken out of that structure, there's this element of, but where's the purpose though? But who's loyal to me? But then who do I be loyal to? It's almost, they're showing me like a lost puppy, or like a dog on the street who's just kind of wandering around and doesn't have like a family. Dogs can be significant, or wolves, as well as owls. Some of you might have been like oracles in another life, where you're able to see everything, or have access to everything. And when you just walk through your life, it just gets mundane. And when people come to you, there's almost a sense of like being miraculous, being amazing, being magical. And it's almost like gratitude for the gift, but almost dullness and mundanity from this as well. It's like this double-edged sword that you have been bestowed. Now they're drawing my attention to something or someone that you would have lost. Maybe this is like a loved one. Now they're showing me this. They're going back to the herbalist example, okay? And take this however this resonates for you. They're showing me somebody losing somebody very important to them, and learning this trade through this, okay? Somebody needing to learn something in order to save themselves for somebody, in order to save somebody that they cared about, because they were so loyal to this energy, and the loyalty never left, and the skill only developed, but then the reason why kind of dissipated. So there's kind of this energy of continuing on, like in honor of something that was no longer there, although knowing that everything just goes back into the ether, goes back into divine. Everything that is everything that is finite is really infinite. And just kind of letting that knowledge, letting that faith carry you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, just understanding that essence is enough. Essence is enough, but desiring that physicality, desiring that intimacy, desiring that looking somebody in the eyes and knowing that there is common knowledge there, that there's common loyalty there, that there's common understanding. Look at this wolves. This is a wolf, and his eyes almost look a bit traumatized. And this King of Pentacles is just like so unaware. He's dressed super casually. He's just focused on his bag. He's got a lot of abundance. He's got a lot of stuff. And there's just this loyal wolf who seems like just he's seen way too much. And we see him, almost this evolution here. just kind of being raised by spirit or in the situation in order to be what he is now. But without really his own sense of self. It's like this person, this little boy who turns into this young adult, who turns into this King of Pentacles, is almost like what he's loyal to. It's almost his entire purpose becomes then this other being, this other person, this other group of people. It becomes the people that come to you for gifts, or for your oracle skills, or for like medicine, or food, or to get a law amended, or for, I'm hearing, divine judgment, or something like this. There's like this element of feeling like you were created to be of service. And there's this stability behind this, but there's also this suffering behind this. It's almost this like intermediary state of knowing that the past is gone and the present is just kind of a repetition of the past. And still this feeling of isolation, regardless of who you're around, because nothing really seems to stick. But there was, at some point, one energy that did. And it's like this energy that felt like it was loyal to you. And it would have been whatever encouraged you to go down this path in the first place. And that was a big divine reason why this energy was there in the first place as well. There's this beautiful, beautiful devotion. I'm hearing bhakti. Beautiful devotion that you found in your heart that caused you to want to serve because of this. But over time, there's like this feeling of redundancy that occurred as well. I'm getting that in a really important event here for you was hanging up your, they're showing me she's wearing this little like smock or apron, like hanging up your apron, hanging up your tool belt, and going off on a little journey, going off on a little adventure, and like hiding your identity, making yourself seem small, or not showing your skills, or something like this. And I'm getting that this was one of the best experiences that you ever had, and at some point, I'm seeing you getting like a close friendship or connection or something with somebody, and this energy like was pressed into a place, a situation where they required you, but they didn't know your identity. So you needed to reveal yourself to them. And I'm getting nothing has been the same since. And there's this energy of longing, of waiting to see, like it's almost, maybe it's like lifetimes after lifetimes, or maybe it's just in this one lifetime and it feels like forever. It's like this feeling of longing, this feeling of, are they going to come back? This feeling of not necessarily placing your worth externally, but also not feeling confident in yourself regardless of how the outcome goes. Like I'm definitely seeing that this triggered some sort of pain in you. Showing somebody who you really are. And that scaring them away. Now, regardless of the love that was in the situation, it's the truth that was difficult to embrace. But that truth would not have allowed these two energies to come together in the first place unless it was life or death, like in the second scenario where the truth was revealed. There is a feeling of home where you're at, but there's this feeling of like emptiness inside as well. Because there's this, they're showing me the Ankh here. There's like this full awareness, this full activation. This full memory of like who, what, when, where, why, how, like the entire sequence of events. And then just maybe even reincarnating or just going back to your little hill, your little cave, your little workshop, whatever this is, your palace, your collective, and just going back, and it's like having a story that you can't even tell. Having a truth that you don't feel like you can share. And it just exists within your heart, but that piece of your heart is elsewhere. Now, of course, everything is within you. but this event seems very significant. This is something that might be a great cause of joy and simultaneously sadness, and there's almost this wondering of, are they still out there? I wonder where they are now. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what's going on. And almost like having placeholders for this energy is coming up as well, maybe in the form of familiars or spirit guides or like animals, friends, children, things like this. There's this feeling where your inner child was so very connected to this, and almost like maybe when you incarnated here, you knew. You already knew. You had all these memories. And there's this like this sadness that you were just going to need to walk through your life knowing this and not knowing the outcome. Or for some of you, in the case of like an oracle or a divine being, you do know the outcome, but it's not perhaps on the timeline that you would like. Now here is an opportunity to remind yourself that all suffering can easily be dispelled, and that you are reverberating, like you are creating your own reality with your mind, with your energy. And whatever this is that you seek is found within you. And that you can, of course, ask for this energy to re-encounter you. And maybe you have. Maybe you've re-encountered it in this lifetime. But there's definitely an energy here about wondering what there is to create. Wondering if it will be abundant. There's this, I'm seeing two people like meeting in another life and recognizing each other, and one person staring directly at the other and that person looking down. And then when that person looks up and looks at the other person looks down at their shoes, and vice versa. It's like, instead of making eye contact, like one looking away while the other one looks, and vice versa. And here, I'm being drawn back again to Paravati with the darshan. You're being drawn to remember the outcome of this that you were promised. And you're being drawn to come into knowing and awareness that while you do not require this, whatever is within will be without. So be compassionate with yourself. Know that you are more than like a servant. We have the King of Swords. You might have a bit of an issue or a bit of a repeating pattern with boundaries in this life, with people walking over your boundaries. We have the Hierophant, we have the Four of Cups, and I'm getting that this stems from this situation because you experienced in some way a love so deep that it caused you to literally dedicate your life, dedicate your entire life, maybe several lifetimes, towards something. Or maybe this was even like a short period of time too. Like this seems like it's more of a fleeting moment, more of a short period of time that altered the entire rest of your reality at that point from then on. This is, maybe you were only like undercover for a week or a month, or maybe this was like a childhood friend and they passed on early or something like this. There is this energy of, that moment being so fleeting, and knowing when you've come in contact with this energy again in this life. And I'm hearing somebody say like, shh, don't cry, and like wiping your tears and putting the back of their hand on your cheek. And there's almost this energy of you being jaded and feeling alone and like you have to do everything alone, that when you look at this, there's almost this energy of wanting to overlook it because you don't want it to be too good to be true. So there's definite significance here relating to loss, loss of innocence. It's like this loss of innocence that goes along with like this memory and instant maturity. This may have resonated in your childhood as some significant difficulty or burdens. And notice that we have 9 to 6 to 4 going down. We have 9 to 6 to 5 to 4 going down. We have 5 to 4, but at the end we have 44, which is beyond mastery. It's teaching. It's like you've put yourself in this position to help others either get out of this situation or to teach people your craft so that you can move on. And I'm seeing that you're being given an opportunity to move on from this period, this this chapter that's been lifetimes long. Whatever this is that has put you of service to others, when in reality you were putting yourself in service in devotion to something or someone particularly, because of unconditional love, because of gratitude, because of that divine, perfect, flawless moment. Because of that, you're now ready to step out of this chapter. And you are either currently or about to be face to face with this energy. But it's going to be once this chapter is behind you. And so that's where there's this catch-22 that you're experiencing. Allowing yourself to be in the world but not of it. Allowing yourself to maintain your true identity and experience connection. And not believing that it's too good to be true. And not rejecting an offer because you've been jaded in the past, because others have walked over your boundaries, because others weren't able to experience what you could experience or practice the skill that you practice or meet you where you're at, because this, when it shows back up, it's going to be divinely guided. It's going to be perfect. Not only perfect for you, but it's going to exactly be synchronistic in ways that seem too good to be true, but they're not. And there's this faith, and there's this deep devotion that got you through where you were to where you are. And you're being asked one more time to redevote yourself to yourself with memory, with those battle scars, with your identity, with your skill, with your craft, with your knowledge, with your bounty, your divinity. And allow yourself to look at the divine version of this energy as well. And know that regardless of what it looks like, all are one and the same. So what were you really devoting yourself to? It was unconditional love. It was gratitude. It was source. It was all that you provided others with and needed to provide yourself with. It was that. And this will be reflected back to you when you meet with this energy again in this life. And this might have you feeling a few different roller coasters of emotions as well, regressing to childhood memories, past life memories, spontaneous awakenings for some of you, wanting to change up some of maybe your appearance or the way that the moves that you make in life to try to materially adjust to this or whatever. This is going to be highly activating. Because you're now at this place where you've redevoted yourself, to source, to God, to the universe, to light, to is. Now you just are, you just get to be. But you also get to be in union with all that is. And not in a space of separateness, not in a state of illusion or loss, in a state of remembrance, regardless of whether or not that energy has the memory as well. And maybe the process of attainment there can add a little bit of salt to this wound as well. What I'm getting here, though, is that this is going to change for the positive. All of these wants and wishes and desires, all of these things, they're showing me back in the beginning of the reading where I mentioned, I was once told by a priest when I was younger, everybody always asks God for something, but nobody ever gives God stuff, this energy of you being in that position in some way, shape, or form, and finally being fine without. But now the positive changes are showing up. It's like people, or this individual energy, showing up, adorning you, wanting to be there, telling you things like, I see you, I respect you, I honor you, I love you, I'm grateful for you. And meaning it, and wanting to be loyal, and wanting to stay by your side, and wanting to commit in this whatever way this energy has manifested in this psyop. Okay, this can be a brother and sister, this can be a romantic thing, this can be a parent and a child, it can be two best friends, this can be a divine being and a devotee to said being, this can be any manifestation of events. But however these two energies manifest, when they connect again, and there's this energy of like cleansing your eyes, like your eyes just being washed over. And finally getting to see things clearly, like having an overlay of all memories at once. Looking at somebody and having a connection, spiritually connection, where you're able to remember past lives without needing to go over the details. You just know, and you can speak about it in the 3D. Multi-dimensional connections. It's cracking you open to, now that you've learned the illusion of separateness, now that you've mastered your craft and you've trained the next apprentice to be a master. Now you get to let this go and live for yourself. And when you live for yourself, you re-encounter this energy as you're letting this energy go. And you're being called to have faith that you can stand up for yourself and you can provide for yourself, but that you can stand up for and provide for yourself while you're in union with the beautiful energy, while you are committed and devoted to the universe, to God, to source, to yourself, and experience this in return. Here, thank you. Here, I love you. Here, I'm grateful for you. And not in a way that is surface level. In a way that is the universe, looking at the universe and saying, I love you. Not in a transactional way or from a wound or from anything like this. Not from even the energy of a long lost energy that you missed and caused you to go down this whole journey. No, this is the universe looking back at the universe saying, hi, I love you. Hi, me. I love you. Hi, you. I love you, because we're all one and the same. And that's this beautiful journey. And I definitely see how these events can be torturing and painful. But there's also this energy that you're turning to gratitude. And that is the beauty of it. You're turning to gratitude again. And you're receiving that in return. You're opening up your heart in a very multi-dimensional kind of way. Allowing yourself to be your full self. And allowing your full self to be seen. Not in a way that you needed to hide parts of yourself before in order to be accepted, or to present yourself a certain way and hide others because of whatever sort of like social status or responsibility or whatever this position was that you were holding. You getting to integrate both and simultaneously just be the universe, be all of existence, be source, and just exist. And finally, from that place, coming into union with this energy again, not because you're longing for it, not because you were out there looking for it and you found it, but because you found yourself. You found the fullness of yourself. And you said, I think I'm ready to let myself be seen now. And so that energy, simultaneously and miraculously, synchronistically in the same exact place, you approach each other. And you finally see each other for each other's fullness, all past aside, all future aside, just the universe and the universe, and one beautiful moment of divine love and gratitude. That's so beautiful. And here, you have Paravati, the goddess of beauty, of connection, of relationships, of abundance, a bit of luxury. And she wants you to know that you're beautiful, inside and out, for every little pore on your face, every single particle of your consciousness, every single bit of you that you've seen and that you haven't and that you like and that you don't and that you understand and that you don't. It's all perfect, and so are you. I'm going to pull from my Follow Your Heart Oracle now. Important events from the Akashic Records of group number 3. What do you need to know? We have Divine Detour, exactly. Divine Detour and Material Matters. Combining the divine with the material. Combining the finite and the intimate. The finite and the infinite. Allowing one thing to lead you down what seemed like a detour, what really was teaching you devotion, this devotion that you felt that inspired you to do what you're doing, this detour that turned out to be so very material and so very spiritual. I'm seeing Ota as well, so 8 can be significant. This material abundance, this infinite abundance, okay? This beautiful, just divine palace of universal connection. Know that this all happens for a reason and that it has your best interest at heart. And as you are allowing yourself to heal from and release this, know that that's okay, because the process is heal, release, ascend. And it might be a detour, but it certainly is divine. And just because it's material doesn't mean it doesn't matter. And remember that all matter is just energy. So nothing ever really leaves us. It's either dispersed or it's densely packed. And as you allow yourself to traverse these energies and master whatever this is and train people and just grow and like pass on this torch, you now have this opportunity to, I'm hearing retire. Retire with your battle wounds, retire with your knowledge, your wisdom, the skills, your craft that you gained, and use this from a place of luxury. Use it from a place of desire, not necessity, of yourself or of others. Use it if and when you would like, and be when and where and how and who you would like. And you're starting to tap into that now. So don't allow yourself to overly detach and don't allow yourself to overly attach, because there's a reason that they're both synchronistic. There is a part in the Bhagavad Gita that says, detachment is not owning anything. It is not letting anything own you. And love cares very much. It really does. And so does detachment. And there's this energy of perfect balance that you're coming into. And it might feel a little bit foreign. It might feel a little bit different. That's the point. Everything that is finite is held within the infinite. Everything that is infinite makes up the finite. The two do coexist, elusively, right? But know that what has happened before will happen again, and what exists always has and always will. They're showing me again the 8 here. You do have access to everything and everyone all the time. And you might find yourself where you want to be a little more synchronistically than you think, a little bit sooner than you think. There's certainly an indication here that you've learned a lesson, not because of the finite parts of the universe, but because you are the infinite parts of the universe. And so as you walk this side of the infinity sign, you walk the other one, and we experience the chakras and the zodiac sign and this physical reality. And I'm hearing pratyahara, and then I'm hearing pratyahara, dharana, and dhyana. And this means to remove your life force, remove your consciousness from the physical senses and experience what is beyond. And from this place of beyond, to concentrate and focus on one thing, and then to absorb yourself with that one thing being the universe, that one thing being source. And that's what leads us to ultimate infinite bliss. And so this one thing that was your spark of source, that led you to this other thing that was the spark of source, while you carried this torch and used that light to light others' torches for them and show them how to pass that on to others, you've created this ripple effect, this infinity. You've created this lightning bolt of spontaneous awakening and healing and beauty and magic. And you get to be reunited with the thing that lit your spark in the first place. Because you removed yourself from the physical in order to commune with the metaphysical, with the divine, with source, with bliss. And with that comes the ultimate reward. Okay, group number 3, that is all I have for you today. This was important events from your Akashic records. Please go check out the other part of your reading on SourceLightStar's channel. And I hope that this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and that you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. I love you. Namaste.